Our first speaker today traveled more than anyone. He flew 24 hours. Well, not in the air, but it took him like literally 24 hours to get here from the tip of Africa. The Horn of Africa. Is that what they call it? The Horn of Africa? That's the top. The other part of the Horn of Africa. The boot. Yeah. Anyways, in my opinion, he's the most successful international builder of EXP there is. And so we are honored to have him here today. Asked him to come up and host the event all the way from Cape Town, South Africa. Mr. Steve Johnstone, everybody.
Thank you. I'll take my jacket off. Oh. I got it. You want to grab it? Thanks, Brent.
Right there.
All right. Well, good morning. Hope you all had a good evening last night. Thank you for dinner, Brent. That was wonderful. And it's good to be with you. It's wonderful to meet the leaders of Europe. And I'm not afraid, as I said yesterday, of small groups. I started with small groups. It always starts. Don't despise the day of small beginnings. Everything's got to start. And it's the people in this room that could, in 5 years' time, have a group of 1,000 people all across Europe, down into Africa, into the other countries we launch in. I'm convinced of the future of this business. I think God's blessing is on this business. And we trust Him for good things. So, what am I going to say to you? Okay, so this is just to get to know me. That's kind of the snapshot of what the business looks like. 986 people in the 7 levels.
Wow.
I have sponsored 91. I've actually sponsored 160 people personally. 70 have over the 5 years retired or left or resigned or whatever. So I've got 91 on my front line. 45 are FLQAs, and that's kind of what it looks like. So that's taken 4.5 years. You know, I will tell you today. I was. Somebody needs to. Oh, nah, forget it. What I'm going to say to you today is that it kind of landed in my lap. I was just, by the grace of God, I was in the right place at the right time, and that's why it worked. So very grateful for what's happened. My story. I'm going to be very brief. So there's 3 things that I want to talk about with you. Just very brief about my background and my story, how I get into EXP. Then I want to talk about agent attraction. That's what I do well. I've never worked as an agent. I'll tell you that as part of my story. I'm a real estate trainer. But I have worked really hard on building a big revenue share team, obviously, and I've worked hard at that. And I've learned a few lessons, not as many as we can learn here, but I've learned a few things, and I'll share those with you for whatever they're worth today. But the third thing I'm going to do with you is a little different, and I think this is necessary because if you were to have to give a speech and give people advice in business, there's a certain level you keep it at. And you say what you think is the right thing and what you ought to say. But if it was your child getting into business with you, and they were to sit down with you at home over the dinner table and say, Dad, Mom, please tell me what I must do. Give me advice. You would actually say some things that you wouldn't normally say here. That's true, isn't it? Yeah. So, if you will give me permission, you can take it or leave it. I'm not your dad. But I'm going to tell you what I would tell them. Dad's wisdom. Nice. Okay. So, we're going to start with my story. That's my family. I am married to Danielle. We've been married for 25 years, and we've been together for 29 years. I have 3 children. 2 beautiful daughters, Francesca on the left, she's 23, Olivia just turned 21, we had her 21st birthday, and then Luke on the right, he's 19, he's enormous. I don't know where he got it from, but he is a huge guy. Not only is he tall, he's big, he's strong, good thing I don't have to discipline him anymore. He's a good boy. I'm very proud of him. Yeah, I think he's 6'3", 6'4". Yeah. I'm like 5'7". I don't know where he gets it from. Anyway, so here's my advice. I'm going to rush through this because there's a lot to cover and I don't have all the time in the world, but I'm going to make a commitment to each of you today. If there's anything on here that you think, ooh, I want to know more about that. How did he do that? What does he mean by that? Come to me afterwards. I will give you my Calendly link. Calendly is a scheduling app. You can book an appointment in my Calendly link, and I will spend an hour with you, and I will tell you everything I know. I will unpack it. I will teach it to you, and that's fine. I know you will take me up on that. I'll probably be busy in the next few weeks chatting to you guys, and I'm happy to do it.
Can we do a group session?
Welcome. I'm happy to help in whatever way I can. I will serve you. So you don't have to understand everything I say to you. I'm going to rush through it, but just make notes. Make notes on, I want to know more about that, and then book an appointment, and then I'll tell you everything I know. I don't know it all, obviously, but I'll tell you what I do know. So 5 tasks to build a revenue share team. The first one is you have to lead the way with sponsoring people. You have to lead the way sponsoring people personally. So FLA stands for Frontline Agents. The reason that's important is I think a lot of people, when they see this business, they think, oh, I'll just get a few people. I'll get one person. And then I'll sit on them. And they've got to do all the work. And I'll phone them, and you got to be making calls, whatever. And actually, you have to lead from the front. If you see, I'll show you a picture a little bit later of my leaderboard. We have a revenue share leaderboard in my business that I share every 2 weeks on our team meeting. And you will see I am number 1 on our leaderboard. And that's on frontline agents. I've sponsored more people, in fact, double more than the next person. Because I understand if I'm a leader, I have to lead from the front. And what's the hard thing in EXP? The hard thing is sponsoring people personally. Helping the team grow, doing the meetings, that gets easier. It's making the calls, it's all of that. You've got to be the leader in that. So in order to do that, do you have a list? You need a list of agents. You should be able to point to your list. I can go onto my computer and I can show you the list. I've still got thousands of names of people that I haven't phoned yet that I can phone. They're in there. I just have to pick up the phone and start phoning. Do you have a list? Gino?
And you know what they say is, why didn't you call me? I get it all the time.
Yep.
So you have a list and you haven't called them all yet. And then they get ticked off at you because they said, why didn't you call me 3 years ago?
Yeah.
So just pretend like you need to call them now. Don't wait. I'm just telling you, I have people get mad at me that I didn't call them. I said, well, you knew but what I'm just wanting to make you, the list can be huge, but call them now. They're pissed off if you don't call them. Brent tried to call everybody on earth.
So
Nobody's mad at me. I'm serious, I did get so busy I couldn't call everybody, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Okay, I just want to make that.
Thank you, Gino. And in fact, the next point on my list is consistent phone calls. Having the list obviously is not going to sponsor anyone. You then have to have an action plan. Who was it that said? I think it was you, Gino. You said you've got to have written goals, but then you have to have a strategy. You've got to have a plan. So what is your plan? Do you have Brent, when he built his business, he's famous for saying he set aside a Friday afternoon as a very busy real estate agent, the 11th highest selling real estate agent in Remax in the world, and then the leader of the top Keller Williams team in the world, most profitable Keller Williams team in the world, and yet he gave between 3 and 5, 2 and 5, 3 and 5, 2 and 5 on a Friday afternoon, and he made phone calls every single week. He just phoned agents. So ask yourself this question: in the last month, how many times have you been on the phone? How many people have you phoned? It's not complicated building a revenue share team. It's simple things repeated over and over and over and consistently. It's the consistency that makes it so hard. So you've got to make phone calls. Have a list, make phone calls regularly, and then you've got to have a strategy. How are you going to present the EXP opportunity to these agents? What do? Do you draw circles on a page? Do you play them a video? What do you do? What's the plan? When you make the call, what do you do with them? And we've heard various options. You've got to find something that works for you. I'll tell you what worked for me was we have a model explained video. Now that sits on themodelexplained.co.za, which is the South African domain. And I've reshot it a couple of times over the 5 years as the model has changed, but this is an exceptionally well presented explanation of how EXP works. And it is powerful. It works. We know the video works. It keeps the message the same every single time. I love video because it never changes. I'm going to get to another reason why I love video later. But for myself, I do not show the opportunity. I do not draw things on a piece of paper. I simply press play. I want them to watch the video. Now, I've got in the top right hand here. So this is our Model Explained page. There is another video below that which explains the revenue sharing system in detail. How does RevShare 2.0 work? I needed another video. I didn't want to go into that kind of detail on the Model Explained. But what happens is people watch this one and I think, wow. And then those who are interested, that revenue share thing looked interesting, they go straight down, they click that, they watch that. Those are the two biggest things I want to communicate with people. How EXP works and why revenue share is so good. And in fact, I won't even do meetings with people until they've watched those two. Even downline, if people want to do three-way calls with me, I always ask them have they watched the video. I don't want to meet with people until they've done that. These are the stats on that video. So there are 40,000 real estate agents in South Africa. That page has got 19,000 unique visitors in 5 years. Could I have shown 19,000 people? No. So that's 50% of the active agents in South Africa. That's the power of video. Okay, so that was my strategy. Have a good video and make sure people get through it. Once they have watched the video, I send them that link. Okay, you click that link, learn more. Takes you to another page that we've built with our whole bunch of videos. There's Jean's napkin presentation. There's Brent's build conference replays. There's my build conference replays. There's presentations by Glenn Sanford. There's about 50, 60, 70 videos on a page. And that page gives people what has become known as EXP insomnia, where you get, I don't know, some of you had that when you watched it for the first time, like your mind was just racing with ideas and excitement. And if people get into that page and they start watching more and more videos, they're hearing more voices, they start to realize this business is everything they say it is. The more voices they hear, the better. So I actually email and WhatsApp that link to them after I've shown them the model. I'll say, hey, here's a link for you to do some more homework into EXP. And then the next thing I do is I invite them to attend our family time meeting. Family time is the team meeting that I run for my team around South Africa every 2 weeks. So it's a Monday morning, it's an hour and a half. I'm going to show that to you a little bit later, what our agenda for that meeting is, because it's an important part of our culture. But I invite people to attend it as a guest. Why? You have to give people an experience of your culture before they are willing to join. The facts and figures about EXP don't, in the end, make people join. What makes them join is they love the people that they're going to be joining. They feel like they're joining a group of winners, a group of successful people, a group of friendly people. They have to feel like where they're going is a good and safe space. That's what attending our family time meeting does, because I know it's good. The agents are all communicating. We do thank yous. We do celebrations. And people who come to that meeting just sit on the side. They click a link. They're sitting in. It's an online meeting. And afterwards they say, I've never seen anything like that in my life. I've been in real estate 20 years. Our office is nothing like that. This is so collaborative. It's so open. It's so respectful. So that's my strategy. I show them the model explained. I send them the follow-up resources link. I get them into a family time meeting. That's what I do. If you guys have a local leader, you can also get them on a three-way call with your local leader. So Ollie will do three-way calls with you. It's good for them to meet one of your leaders if they can. Just with my situation and time differences, I know Brent was always available, but just with the time, it just wasn't possible a lot of times, so I just did it on my own. Okay, so that's the strategy. Then you have to have a way to keep in touch with people long term. Most of the people that you show are not going to join you immediately. How do you keep in touch with them? I have a bulk email. I've got a MailChimp account. I've sent millions and millions and millions of emails from that bulk email account. I have a drip campaign that people go on. I have a newsletter that people go on. So once you've come into my net, man, you are going to hear from me every week. There's emails. And so often now I get people coming back to me. I've forgotten who they are. They come back to me and they say, I'm ready. I got a text message like that 2 days ago while I was here. Stephen, I'm ready. So now I'm doing a call with her tomorrow morning before I rush off to the airport. Why? Because I've got a way of keeping in touch. They don't feel like they're out of touch with me. Obviously, being active on social media helps that as well, which I am. So keep in touch with people afterwards. And then lastly, be a blessing. This is one of Brent Gove's great secrets. He gives and gives and gives and gives and gives, and he believes as he gives, it'll come back to him, and it has. Be generous, be kind. If you're doing some training and you think it'll be a blessing to someone that you've shown the business to, let them come. Let them attend it. So all of our events that we host, training events, AI training, whatever, people are welcome to come. I'll get onto that as a strategy just now. Okay, so that then leads me to value-led events. As we have moved in EXP South Africa from the very early days when nobody knew who EXP was, and I was calling it EPS, and nobody, and you could say, hey, I'm with EXP, and they were just blank face. Now, 5 years later, we're the third biggest real estate company in the country. We've grown faster than anything in history, and because of that, now a lot of agents will say, oh yeah, no, someone's been trying to talk to me about that. There's this slight resistance. So we're finding an incredibly effective way now of continually building our lists is to have these industry-serving events where we do not speak about EXP. So this is an example of a ChatGPT training. If you're ever looking for an unbelievable speaker, Brent, that guy, Andre Forster, I would say is the top guy in the world for ChatGPT and real estate agents. It is a phenomenal presentation. And he does that all around the country. He does a webinar every 2 weeks, and he has built a list of several thousand agents around the country who love him, who respect him, who look up to him. Why? Because he has taught them how to use ChatGPT as an estate agent. And you could do that. Yeah. Forster, V-O-R, so Vorster, V-O-R-S-T-E-R, Andre Forster. This was an event that was done in Port Elizabeth, one of the cities. One of my team leaders did this. We also did the ChatGPT training there. So value-led events. You can do these online. I run a value-led event targeting luxury agents. So we've built a brand called the Luxury Agent Collective, and it's just about bringing luxury agents together. So we did a series of webinars. This guy's the top luxury agent in the country. He's in my team, Neil Robinson. Amazing guy, 27, ex-professional cyclist. Unbelievable guy. We did a webinar for 3 weeks, and we invited the whole industry. We had hundreds and hundreds of agents. So Neil talked about social media on the first one. This guy talked about mindset. Renee Horak, he spoke about mindset on the second one, and then I did lead generation on the third one, which is my expertise in real estate training, is lead gen. So I did the third one. From those 3 sessions, we had a list of hundreds and hundreds of agents that came and enjoyed it. We didn't talk about EXP. From there, we got the idea, Neil and I, because he's in Johannesburg, but Neil and I are in Cape Town. We decided we were going to start an in-person networking event for luxury agents in Cape Town. Now, Cape Town is very much like Marbella. It is the luxury capital of South Africa. The properties there are unbelievably expensive in some of the areas of Cape Town. So we got a lot of luxury agents. So we now host it's sponsored by one of the attorneys, because they will always sponsor what you want to do. And we invite the top 60 luxury agents in Cape Town to come, and we don't even have a speaker. We just clinkle the glass, say, welcome everyone, great to have you here. We're going to network, make a new friend, be deliberate, enjoy the evening, thank you to the sponsors. That's it. And for 2 hours, luxury agents just talk to each other, and they love it. We don't talk about EXP, but guess what happens? People come up to us, people phone us, people send us emails. Tell me more about EXP. How does it work? They get curious. It's like the girl who plays hard to get.
Because they know it's an EXP meeting, right?
They know.
Yeah, they know. Yeah.
And they appreciate the fact that it wasn't they were waiting for the pitch, and it never comes. And now they want to know.
But you never mentioned EXP in the webinars.
No.
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 It's not necessary.
They know. So this is an angle I'm taking, trying to attract luxury agent, but find a niche. This is another one. This is probably my top leader. Her name is Lisna Nell. She's second on our leaderboard. I think she's got 45 people on her first tier. She's building a great business. She's one of only 3 icon agents in South Africa. She's a killer. She does this thing called AHA clubs. AHA stands for Agents Helping Agents. Again, they don't talk about EXP at the AHA meetings. She has planted AHA clubs right throughout South Africa, almost like it's a little franchise. If people want to start an AHA club, they let her know. She gives them all the material, and they just host AHA meetings now all over South Africa. These are in my group. People are gathering all over the country, and I don't even know about it. That's what will happen to you as you build a big RevShare team. Leaders start doing their own thing. So the AHA clubs have been a great success. All right, so that's number 1, lead the way with FLAs, and there's all these strategies to be able to do so and to build your list and make the phone calls and show the model. Right, secondly, develop duplicatable resources. I'll tell you afterwards. Right, I'm going to run out of time if I start taking questions. Sorry, Ollie. We're only on number 2. Yeah. Did you see the look? All right, so develop duplicatable resources. Someone told me a long time ago, it's not what works that counts. It's what duplicates that counts. In other words, if I can do something, it doesn't matter if I can do it. I might give the most brilliant presentation to Deb on how EXP works, but then how is she going to go home that evening and speak to Nikki and show Nikki how EXP works? She can't do what I just did because I'm such a genius. But if I say to her, here, Deb, watch this video, and I play the model explained, she can go that afternoon and she can speak to Nikki and say, hey, Nikki, watch this video. This thing's incredible. Now, you multiply that through a group when you've got 10, 15, 20, 100 people, where everybody can do the same thing. It starts to create massive growth. Create duplicatable resources. So the number 1 duplicatable resource in our business is this page, the model explain page. But behind that page, there are then a whole bunch of other resources. So this is a page. I'm going to press play of the video. So I just took a little screenshot this morning. This is the resources page for my business. Everybody in my business knows about this page. So general resources, how to get help at EXP, etc. Then real estate training resources. We've got some of the best training in the world that we've put together on that page. My own referral system, which is what I'm famous for in South Africa, is on there, plus a bunch of other things that we fill through the time. So there's real estate training resources that the teams can use. And then a whole bunch of agent attraction resources. Videos that answer. So I'm going to click on one of them now to give you an example, the commission calculator. So people are asking, oh, couldn't you do a video to help us explain like commission before and after? So we just created a short video explaining how to use a spreadsheet, which you can download by clicking that button, to compare what you will be earning when you join EXP compared to what you're earning now at your current brokerage. I could tell people, guys, you need to tell people, you need to crunch the numbers for them, or I can just create a resource that everybody can use. So you saw that page. There's about 40 or 50 pages like this with different videos answering different questions, etc., and everybody's got access to it. Make it easy for everyone. All right, let's build a single collaborative culture. A single collaborative culture. There's so much to say here, but let me just make this point. You must communicate with everyone who joins your RevShare team through all 7 levels. You have to have a way in which they see you as the leader. You know what that allows you to do? That allows you to then control the culture. You can't control a culture if it's not connected. So what do? I have a drip campaign on my MailChimp account. Everybody that joins my 7 levels, immediately the moment they join, because I'm refreshing my EXP 30 times a day, and I see, oh, another one joined. I add them to the drip campaign. They get an email from me welcoming them to EXP with a bunch of really valuable resources. This is how to set up your email address. This is how to get onto the listing system. Here's a training video on how to get into production quickly. And then for 10 weeks, they get an email every week from me just with something extra about what they have access to, how the Canva Canva Pro. How does that work? How do you access that? Then there's another week on something else. So I've created a drip campaign. What it does is everybody now knows that I'm the leader. I'm the one that they're feeding from. Will it make you busy? No. I never get phone calls. But the resources are keeping in touch with people. Secondly, I have a meeting every 2 weeks that I do called Family Time. And then every 2 weeks on a Monday, and I'll show you what the agenda looks like a little bit later. And then I have planted small groups. So for those of you who've been in church circles, you'll know this is what churches do. There's a big church, and then you break into small groups or Bible studies during the week. Well, we did exactly the same thing. We said, we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people around the country. I said, who wants to lead a small group? And a bunch of people raised their hands, said, okay, I'll lead a small group. And we have a page, one of our resources on there, the small groups page, where you can find a small group in your area and you contact the leader and that person's doing it. Some of them do coffee, some of them do, like fun events. They go and play games, they go bowling together, whatever. I'm not doing any of this. It's not, I play golf. You create this engine where other people are empowered to lead, but you remain at the top of it. You remain pulling the strings. So small groups have been an important part of what we do. So we're talking about building a single collaborative culture. This is my Family Time agenda. So these are the slides from my last meeting 2 weeks ago. I'm just going to run through this so you can see. Welcome to Family Time. Somebody reads our mission statement. You have to have moved up the leaderboard if you get to say, now everybody wants to read the mission statement because it means that they get credit because it means they moved up the leaderboard. So that we read through that. This shapes what we do. In there we talk about honoring one another. We talk about being an ethical business person. We talk about everyone capping. We talk about revenue share. We talk about the stock award system. We talk about changing the industry in South Africa, which we have done. We drafted that when there were 8 of us. Less people than are in this room. And we have changed the culture of real estate. Other copycat companies are coming into being now because of what we've done. So mission statement, we welcome any guests. As I said to you, it's one of our key strategies, get guests into the meeting. So we welcome them. And I'm amazed how many guests will put up their hand on the Google meeting. They'll click the button. And I'll say, hey, welcome. Where are you from? Tell us where you're from. It's great to have you here today. Wonderful. Kudos and thank yous. I believe in the verbal expression of gratitude. You got to get people in. If you want to build a culture that is positive and healthy, get people saying thank you to each other. So we have a specific time in our meeting where everybody raises their hands and they say thank you. And it's like the favorite part of the meeting. 20, 30 hands go up. It sometimes takes us 20 minutes. And I just let it run. It's the most it's the most powerful part of the meeting. Because Brent is saying, I want to say thank you to Gene. I want to thank him for something he did for me last week. I wouldn't have been able to do it rather. Gene, I just want to thank you. Just, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And then somebody else will. I'm telling you, one of your jobs as a leader is to build a culture. In my business, I have been very deliberate about the culture that I've built. I do not tolerate foul language. I do not tolerate bad ethics. I do not tolerate... If you come to an event of mine and you use foul language, you will never speak again. I am determined to build a clean, God-honoring culture in my business. You don't like it, go somewhere else. That is the leaderboard, so that's kudos. So now that's part of what I'll do, as we'll show who's moved up on the leaderboard. I could scroll down, that's got 40 or 50 people on it. And then the little blue thing there, I'll get into that later. This is those who are in our mastermind group. So you've got to get your leaders together in a mastermind. That's what I've done. So you've got to have more than 15 on your first tier to get into my mastermind. Then we congratulate those who've capped in the last 2 weeks. So we'll put a little slide up from all the cappers from the previous 2 weeks. I'm happy to send this. I will send the whole. I mean, Rob can do it. We can export it as a PDF and we can just email it to everyone. Okay, thanks, Rob. No problem. Then we do upcoming events. So we've got a couple of competitions that are running at the moment. Race to the US of A is running at the moment. Then there's EXPCon in Cape Town. We want to see you there, February. So I'm obviously promoting that to my group at the moment, that everybody's got to get their tickets. Okay, and then I did a little thing on co-sponsorship explained in this last family time meeting. So I explained how co-sponsorship works, and then what I've been doing is a thing called co-sponsor spotlight, where one of my leaders on the leaderboard gets to present to my whole group, a couple of hundred people in the meeting every 2 weeks, what they bring to the table as a potential co-sponsor. Why should people choose them as a co-sponsor? And this week it was Sharon Moodley that got to talk about that. Okay, so that's family time. Number 4, host events. When I say host events, I mean big events. As the group gets to a certain size, you've got to start gathering people from around the country in one place. If somebody else is doing the events, oh my word, what a blessing. If Brent is doing a build in Marbella next year, I mean, in the kudos and thank yous time, you're going to say thank you to Brent, because it means you don't have to do it. Plug into and support the events that EXP are doing or that the leaders are doing. So I've run a conference called Build, which is Brent's brand. I asked him, could I do Build South Africa? He said yes. So we've done Build. Brent actually came for the first 2 Build conferences, and it's been amazing. Hundreds and hundreds of people have gone through that, and it's been a beautiful time. So this was the previous one. Glenn Sanford was with us. Interviewed Glenn on stage, and if you look at this picture at the top here, this was the VIP room. So if you bought a platinum ticket, you got into a small room where there was coffees and drinks, etc. There's some famous people in that photo. This is one of the top agents in Canada. His name's Randy Dick. There's Glenn Sanford in the back, and this lady here in the black and white top is Brent Gove's sponsor, Sheila Fejerin. That's the lady that sponsored Brent Gove. Yeah. Yeah, so she came to speak as well, which was fantastic. Okay, host events. Lastly, identify leaders and connect them with each other. If I can tell you, one of the secrets I have learned through, I didn't know this, I've stumbled onto this. One of the secrets for success in life is identify good people and get them together, and you step out the way. You would be surprised how incapable, clueless I am. Really. I've never sold a house in my life. I'm just kind of faking this thing till I make it. But I've learned. Earn the trust of good people, leaders, and then get them together. So you'll see you do events where you bring your people together. So at the Build conference, the night before it starts, we have a leaders meeting with the speakers at my home. This is an example of a relationship. The guy on the left and his wife, James and Shelley Conyers, they're the big team leaders on the east coast of South Africa in Port Elizabeth. They run amazing events. The couple next to them are Andre and Lydia Foster. That's the guy that's doing the ChatGPT training. They are 2 of the biggest revenue share leaders in South Africa. They never knew each other. Because of me and me getting my leaders together and the mastermind that we do every 2 weeks, we're on a Google meeting together. These guys have become the best of friends, and the same is with Lisna and Daniel and her husband. There's a bunch of us that have become incredible friends. And you know what? If I just quietly step out of the picture, there's all this life and power and activity and encouragement happening between good people. Get your good people together and get them to build relationships with each other. Hey, dad's wisdom. Okay. So, if I had your permission and trust, what I'm going to say now, ignore it. If it's not for you, doesn't matter. This is what I would tell my child. Dad, what must I do? Number 1, pray and seek God. That's what I would tell them. I would tell my daughter, if she wanted advice to me and she was open to it, which my daughters are, I would say to them, there's a God who loves you. He created you with a purpose. He sent his son to die for you. That's how much he loves you. And on the 3rd day after he died, he rose from the dead. He's alive. He's Lord of heaven and earth, and he has a plan for you. Seek him. It may be that someone in this room is not actually meant to be in real estate. I don't know. I'm not God. But you have a God who loves you, and he has a plan for you. But you've got to seek him. I would tell that to my daughter. You've got to seek God. Pray and seek him for your life. Once you've done that and you're convinced you're in the right place, have faith and do not fear. That's what I would tell him. Be willing to take risks. One of Brent Gove's greatest strengths is he's able to take risks. Why? Because he's a man of faith. I know God loves me. He sent his son to die for me. If he, while I was still a sinner, sent his son to die for me, how much more would he not give me all things? He's a faithful Father, and I know I can trust Him. And so I take risks because I know it's never going to fall out. The bottom will never fall out. I'm safe. Take risks. Have faith and do not fear. Number 3, work harder than everyone. Don't think that this is going to fall in your lap. And God expects us to use our gifts and our talents and work hard. I worked incredibly hard in the beginning of my EXP business. I think I made 3,500 phone calls in the first couple of years. And in that, I sponsored those kind of 60 people. And then the momentum just picked it up from there. Brent will tell you the same story. He worked incredibly hard. But where can you find a business where you can work incredibly hard for 4 years? And I probably will never need to work again in my life. I'm not flying all over the world in private jets or whatever, but you know what? I don't need to work. EXP has set me free. Where can you do that in 4 years? But for that 4 years, you need to work hard. I think it was Gene said, get out of balance for a little bit of time. That's good. That's healthy. Keep your conscience clean. This is what I tell my daughter. Keep your conscience clean. Was it one of you, I think Ollie, I think you said to me earlier, this is an industry where people stab each other in the back, they steal, they lie, they manipulate, they cheat. Don't let that be you. Keep a clean conscience. It's the best way to live. There's a verse in Scripture that says this: the wicked flee when no one's chasing them. It's like they're nervous all the time. You don't want to live like that. You want to sleep well at night. But the righteous are as bold as a lion. Live like that. Live with a clean conscience. Do what's right. Don't expect anyone to do anything for you. That's the last thing I would tell my daughter. This is one of the privileges I had of being the first agent in South Africa. It's like, all right, who's going to do the model explained? We need a video. I didn't phone Brent and say, Brent, I need a South African video. You need to help me. Or I need a resources page. I just knew if anyone was going to do it, I was going to do it. I built it all. And I think you have to have that attitude. Too many people in life are looking. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me. No. Be a leader. You take responsibility. I can tell you now, if all of you disappeared, including these 2 gentlemen whom I love and respect, I would do it anyway. I don't need anyone to coax me into this thing. And that's where you need to be. Don't expect anyone to do anything for you, although we will. And that's a blessing. When someone does do something for you, then it's wonderful. Thank you for your patience. God bless you.